Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Javier Perez. You may also know me as JP2, and on today's episode we're going to talk about the state of the music industry. So before I go on, just remember that if you like my videos and you want to see more content from me, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure that you share this and all of my other videos with your friends. So there was a huge development in the music industry over the past few days. Live Nation is the entertainment company that handles most club-sized venues and concerts across the US. There's over 77 venues, including all of the House of Blues and the Fillmores. They just announced that they are no longer going to charge fees to the artists to sell their merchandise on site. This practice by Live Nation started a few months ago. It was their effort of being able to handle the post-COVID era economy, and they were charging artists between 15 and 30% of every merchandise sold on site. The loophole for the artists was that they could sell the merchandise outside of the venue, which I witnessed myself this summer when I went to see Dream Theater, Devin Townsend, and Animals as Leaders at Hard Rock Live in Orlando. All the bands had their stuff set up outside of the venue, and it was a bit of a hassle having to go from one to the other because they couldn't book the stuff together. They couldn't do the same line for everything. So by the time I got done with one line and I went to the other one, everything was gone. And if it was a pain in the butt to me, I can only imagine how much of a pain in the butt it was for the artists and for the people in charge of the merchandise. So this is definitely a victory for musicians everywhere, but there are issues in the music industry that we still need to tackle. Let's start with streaming versus physical media. The IFPI Global Music Report says that 67% of revenue shares from music come from streaming. And personally, there are advantages to streaming versus physical media. The first one is ease of access. There's a ton of aggregators and companies out there that will put your music in every single significant store on the planet for a very minimal price or even for free. We're talking about DistroKid, we're talking about Amuse, we're talking about Ditto Music. There's so many out there. It's really hard to say you want to choose this one over the other one. The important thing is that you actually align yourself with one of them to be able to put your content out there. Because of streaming, I have been able to share my music and my art with people all over the world. But because of the minimal revenue that I make from streaming, it's basically impossible for me to create physical media of my music to sell. So what are other ways in which you can help yourself in this new streaming world? The first one that comes to mind is video. People engage with music through video way more than they do through audio. It used to be that a music video was maybe one video for an entire album, maybe two singles had a video, and that is it, and you could get away with that. But today, not only do you have to think about a music video or a lyric video or a visualizer or something like that, we are putting entire albums for streaming on YouTube with little moving pictures here and there. And it's just because of the way that people engage with music right now. The visual aspect is as important right now as it is the audio content. So with that in mind, I want to put my closing statements talking about what I feel is the current state of the music industry where I live in the Central Florida area. It's hard to say. I want to say that my opinion is that I don't really have an opinion yet. I have been back for 2 years, and I've been slowly trying to get involved with venues, with bands, etc. And although I think that there's a little bit more camaraderie than there used to be, there's not as many venues as there used to be back when I played in bands here in Florida back from 2001 all the way to 2008. So we're running into the issue where there's a lot of artists with music out there, but nowhere for them to play. There are a ton of online communities for the music scene in the Central Florida area, and I'm trying to get, you know, involved with all of it and talking to people, and just, you know, if somebody's asking for a recommendation or something, or trying to exchange gigs or something, but it still feels very cliquey. I want to take 50% of the responsibility for that, because I can always do a better job of putting myself out there and go to more shows and just be more active and more involved with the industry. I don't think that you can ever do that enough. But at the same time, I feel like we still have the mentality, and this probably applies to the music scene everywhere, where there's so very little to pull from as far as audience, as far as venues, as far as actual pool of cash to be able to put together events, etc., that whoever has a hand on the pot doesn't really want to share any of it. And that to me is, you know, it's a bit of a shame. That is not the way that music is supposed to work. We're all artists, we're all musicians, we're all in this together. And the way that we need to approach our local scene is as a family, not as a competition. And there you have it. Big development over the last few days with the Live Nation fee suspension. That is awesome. That is definitely a win. It's a victory for musicians, but we need more of that. So please give me your thoughts on Live Nation and on your local music scene and everything. If we want to get that conversation started down in the comments, that'll be awesome. If you like this video and you want to see me do more videos like this, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time.